I've forgotten about that,
Here's
actually.
Johnny! Like that. That's the only time that I've thought about cabin fever.
Taxi driver where it's about, I guess it's about him
Right.
doing that job, being pretty lonely, and like trying to reach out to different things in the world and just slowly going insane.
Let's hear about your cabin fever experience.
Well, it was...
We were 3 floors below ground, and it was just fluorescent tube lighting all day, opening boxes, beep, beep.
I worked at the Motor Museum about 3 or 4 years ago, and I used to work in the wash-up.
The best example for me, I think, that I've experienced is when I used to drive a lot.
I kind of like working by myself though. I remember I worked in an office once and there was lots of filing to be done. It was still paper. It was before, they hadn't really moved all the way to computers yet. And
well, I did when I was working at the call centre, because like the hours are different, and like the days just go, every day is like, you know, one would be over.
I was all by myself in this house with an Indian family, and they put me on the top floor, and it had a balcony, and lots of monkeys would come along.
Beep, beep.
And when you get stuck in really heavy traffic and you have to be somewhere, that drives me absolutely nuts. And because you're locked into this one position.
And I did a whole summer in the wash-up when there was just, for whatever reason, like no one else was like, well, you didn't choose what you were rated on.
they had this massive like archive, and I used to go down there for like days at a time, just with these like files related to individual people, and I just used to like file them away. I used to just love it. I used to really enjoy it.
Because you're kind of just so solidly rooted to that one position, it just drives you nuts, and you feel like you really need to get out and move. And
so like you come in and they'd have it written out, and they just always wrote me in the wash-up because I think it was because I got on with it and did it pretty well, so they just keep putting me back in there. Do you know what I mean?
Beep, beep. And we used to all go crazy there too. But yeah, they're all like that. All jobs where you just carry on doing that manual repetitive thing.
Just want to get out there, because the environment's not that great when you're in a call centre, so you know.
And I suppose that sense of like just coming in every day and like full of dishes, you know what I mean? And this, I suppose, yeah, that's it to some extent, because I'd come in and I'd be like, just got to do this before I can go. Like.
So I was left by myself about 2 weeks, only seeing like one Indian man who brought me my rice every day, and I just started getting a bit weird.
I guess it's not really explainable completely about what it is about that, you know, psychologically changes in you when you're trapped in a thing. But I guess it is something to do with like, it's, you know, starts as like some sort of frustration, and then like the fact that you can't vent this frustration or you can't stop it just makes you start like getting a bit like.
yeah, I mean I think that's a big thing where it's limitless. That's the real issue.
What do you think like maybe causes cabin fever?
Just that, yeah. I mean, you wanna do something different, but there's just no opportunity to, and that almost makes it worse. It's like it spirals out of control. You know.
Maybe cabin fever, a bit like any form of paranoia it's normally irrational, or it's normally it will like override the logic that you possess, I suppose.
Yeah, it's like your body counteracting something where you're getting more and more enclosed, and it's like, yeah, suddenly bursts out or something, you know. Yeah, but yeah, like you say, it's like holding on to something else. It's a reaction. It's definitely a reaction.
I suppose housewives might get it if like, especially like housewives that children have gone to school or something, and then they're just, you know, their partner's working or whatever, and they're like, they've got to occupy themselves at home.
I can imagine for the elderly it's a bit like cabin fever.
Yeah, I guess so, actually. So you've got to like, yeah, you must get a bit like, must be a bit stressed out when you're older and you can't.
Yeah,
You know,
and if you're isolated, I think isolation and
You know.
I guess if they're doing that, they also think that they've got it tomorrow the same thing, you know.
Yeah,
like,
yeah, exactly, yeah. The
stuff.
impending, I suppose it's nothingness in a way, isn't it? Just like, what I'm doing here is nothing.
Out of the people I talked to about cabin fever, about half thought it didn't even exist. For me it's something very real. Maybe I'm just more susceptible than other people. Mostly I want to know the real psychological effects, and whether there is any evidence.
I just wish I'd have gone on that slide. And I wish, even to this day, that I'd have gone on that slide.
It's all like bullshit.
Yeah.
Did you actually get locked in a ball pool?
No.
We got cabin fever, we're flipping our bandanas. Been stuck at sea so long that we have simply gone bananas.